Hello and welcome. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kagwe Monroe. I'm a teacher at Nakuru High School. I've been teaching physics since 1992, and therefore I have amassed massive experience on how students learn physics. So other than teaching, I've also been making digital content and offering my services online as an online tutor in the same subjects. This holiday, I'm offering the same services to students out there. And I'm making these particularly for my students who you may have received an invitation to join my class. You may be a parent. The students are using the mobile phones or the numbers of their parents. So probably when you get this information, you find that you really don't know who this person is. So I'm taking time to introduce myself to you so that you can be aware whom you're talking to and what is it that I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for quite a long time. And besides teaching, I've been making this digital content and also offering the same to students out there through online means. So having introduced myself, my lessons are starting. First of all, they are for the 844 students. Those who are currently in 2022, you are in Form 1, Form 2, or Form 3. That means in next year, you are transitioning either from Form 1 to Form 2, or from Form 2 to Form 3, or from Form 3 to Form 4. So, in this short duration, because I just want to make it to be just for 2 weeks, I'll be tackling 2 topics in the next class. For instance, if you're in Form 1, you have completed the syllabus for Form 1, and next year you will be in Form 2, so I teach you the first 2 topics in Form 2. If you're currently in Form 2 and you have completed the syllabus for Form 2 work, next year you'll be in Form 3. I tackle well ahead of time the first 2 topics in Form 3 and so forth. Currently for the students who are in Form 3, I'll be tackling the next 2 topics when you will be in Form 4. That is how I have designed it. That is why you will find that for the content, I have written Form 1 topics, 2 topics, Chapter 11 and Chapter 12. Every form has got 10 chapters. So they are named from Chapter number 1 all the way to Chapter 41. In Form 4, there are 11 chapters. So, in Form 2, they run from 11 all the way to 20. In Form 3, they run from 21 all the way to 30. And in Form 4, they run from 31 all the way to 41. So, what else is it that I'm going to be covering? First of all, there will be 5 hours every week for each of the forms. That means for 5 days, 5 hours, 1 hour every day. And I think that is more than enough for me to be able to cover a topic and even revise the same. So for 2 weeks, you will have 10 hours, in which case you're going to cover 2 topics. Now, what else is there? How about the reference materials? If you join my class, you will have access to a download of the course book, that is a PDF version of the book. I will not be giving hard covers, hard copies, because that is almost impossible. You've got the hard copies in school, just in case they have been retracted, because at the end of the year, every school withdraws these textbooks from students. Just in case yours have been withdrawn, then I give you an opportunity to download. But if you've got your own hardcover book at home, you don't need to download the books which I will be giving out. So if, for instance, you are in Form 1 and I will be teaching you content in Form 2 in preparation for next year, I will give you a download link to be able to download Book 2. The same thing with those who are in Form 2 and I'll be teaching you content for Form 3, I'll give you a download link for Book 3. Those who are in Form 3 and I'll be teaching content for Form 4 work, I'll give you a download link for Book 4. Now, in addition to that, I'll give you download links for several other reference textbooks, because when you are studying a subject, it's not good to just limit yourself to a given source of textbooks. Look through as many as possible, so long as these textbooks are talking about the same content and to the same depth. So I'll be providing you download links as when I feel that this book is necessary to have it, I'll give you those download links. So what are the requirements for this particular online lectures? First of all, it's going to run from 5th to 16th of December. Yes, from 5th, that will be a Monday, all the way to Friday, and then we start on the next Monday, all the way to the next Friday, that is on 16th of December. Exactly 2 weeks. So, what are the requirements? Number one, I'd like you to ensure that you've got a reliable internet connectivity. If you're using a wireless adapter, and maybe you're the only one who is using that wireless adapter, just make sure that the adapter is connected to your system, to your computer, to your laptop directly, because that is how you get very strong internet. Otherwise, if you're using Wi-Fi, then make sure that the Wi-Fi is reliable and it is strong, because sometimes I might require you to give some feedback in the class. It will not be a one-man show. I will expect you as a student to also participate. And for you to participate effectively, you need strong internet. Number two, I'd like you to arm yourself with a notebook. This is important because as I go through the lectures, I'll expect you to note down important points as we go along. I'll expect you to do some calculations. There's something else that I had forgotten and it's not in that list, and that is a calculator. Ensure that you've got a calculator. But of most important, a notebook, a calculator, a pen, of course, a pencil, because I'll require you to do some drawing, whether it is of graphs or things of the sort, diagrams, an eraser, 30cm ruler, and a protractor. In other words, the implements which you get in a geometrical set. I'll expect you to have those two. Number three, how about your digital device? I would prefer if you can use a desktop computer or a laptop. Like for instance here, I'm using my desktop here and it gives me a very big screen, and that enables me to see very small details on whatever I'll be presenting. But if you're using a smartphone, don't worry, the screen is small, all right. The only thing that I'll require you to do is to ensure that you know exactly how to use it. I'll expect you to put it in landscape position like that, so that it makes your screen to be a little bit larger rather than portrait. So once you've decided to hold it in that position, let it remain in that position throughout, and then you use full screen, because whatever I'll be displaying, maybe I'll be showing you what is on my desktop, or I will be capturing videos as separate setup altogether using a different camera rather than the camera that I'm using here or that other camera. So, and since you need to see the details in whatever I'll be presenting, put it in the landscape position and make sure that it is stable. In the market out there, you'll get so many gadgets that you can use to hold your mobile phone, so that you don't have to hold it in your hand throughout. Because I will need you to use your hands maybe to write, or to, you might even need to rest. And if you're holding it in your hand like that, you are likely to get tired. So just get a holder. If you don't get anything to hold it, then make sure that it is on your table but inclined. You can you can use even a cup. For example, here I've got my own cup of tea. I can use it to hold my mobile phone like that. And it is in such a position that I can be able to see what is there, and I can also do some writing, because I'll expect you to take down some notes. The other thing is, when you're using your device, I'll expect you to use your headphones. Because they've got a good microphone. That microphone is more superior than the other microphone that you use that is at a far off distance from you. For me, I'm using a different microphone altogether, because I've got an audio interface that sieves out noise and gives me a much higher quality sound for you. But I don't want you to bother about the microphone so much. Just use your headphones. Just in case you're watching this lesson together with your friends, because this one is a holiday and you might have one or two friends come to visit you, and you're taking this lesson and they are maybe at the same level as you are, or at a higher level. I don't mind if you and your friend can be able to use the same device. All you need to do, there are adapters there in the market that you could be able to fix onto your microphone, so that both of you can use different headphones. Up to 4 people, you can be able to use the same device. I'll be showing that if you are interested in that part. So when it comes to the device that you will be using, laptop, desktop, tablet, those are preferable. But if you're using a smartphone, don't be discouraged. It will also work. Besides, whatever I'll be displaying here, because I have in mind that majority of the students may be using smartphones, I'll make it big enough so that you'll be able to read from there. Number 4, I'd expect you to be in a conducive learning environment. CLE, conducive learning environment, because I'll be conducting my lessons during the day. And sometimes at home, it could be a little bit noisy. So make sure that you are indoors. You're indoors, and other gadgets such as the TV, the radio, they are off. Be in your room where it is silent. Because this being an online lesson, it is not possible for me to monitor the kind of noise which is in the classroom. So I'll expect you to observe that. And of course, number 5, you are supposed to facilitate me for teaching you for 2 weeks. So if you agree with all these 5 conditions, there is a form I've given you. In fact, I'm reading through this form. There is a form. I've already sent you this form. You read it through, and as you come to the bottom there, you will enter your email. Please enter the correct email, because some people who have entered their emails, the system does not verify whether your email is valid or not. It does not. I only get to know that your email is not recognized and it is not working when I try to send you some message. So in order to verify that your email is working, because it is through your email that I will send you the link. In order to verify that your email is working, I have some information, some extra information that I send you through that email. So if you don't get that information from your email, it means your email is not valid and it's not working. So get correct email address. So you'll enter your email address, and of course you realize that without entering the correct email address, this form will not be submitted. But I know some people may enter fictitious emails. Once you enter fictitious emails, the form will be submitted, all right, but when I try to communicate back to you, then the communication is broken because you've entered wrong email. I hope that one is clear. Then, of course, enter your name. If you are my student, I'd like you to put the admission number just next to your name, just to ensure that I know whom I'm talking to, whom I'm teaching. And then, of course, choose the form. I've given you a drop down here. Choose the form that you, not the form that you are in, the form whose content you want to learn. You may be in Form 2, you want to learn content for Form 3. Because you will be in Form 3 next year, you will click Form 3. If you are in Form 1, you realize that there is no link for Form 1 here. There is no drop down for Form 1 because I know those who are in Form 1, I'll be teaching them content for Form 2. So if you're in Form 1, you will click content for Form 2 and so forth. I hope that one is clear. And of course, at the very bottom, you'll get a picture of myself here. This one is not a recent picture. It's an older picture. It's just a picture, passport size, that I got from my computer. So don't worry if I look different from how I look in that photograph. I took that photograph I think some 2 or 3 years ago. So that is it. If you agree to this, go right ahead. Let me have your information, and I hope to see you on Sunday by 4, because it is closing by 4. After 4, for those who will have registered, you will receive a timetable at particular times when we are going to be having our lesson. And then after that, I will send you some information asking you to download and install 2 applications. One of them is called Microsoft Teams, and the other one is called Zoom. So the reason why I ask you to download and install the 2 applications is because sometimes one app may be working on a particular day and the other one is not. And that does not mean that we are not going to conduct our lessons. We are going to conduct our lessons all the same. That is why you must have those 2 applications. Of course, when we are having the lesson, I'll just be seated right here, but then you will have the opportunity of seeing my screen. If you've used Zoom or Teams before, you know that this one is not anything new. It's something that works all the time. I'll be able to show you my desktop. I'll be able to show you other situations of our learning environment as the conditions or the lesson demands. So thank you for your time. If you're a parent and you're watching me right now, I'd like you to know that this one is not a scam, because many of you are thinking that it is a scam. It is not. It is real, and I'm starting the lessons on Monday. So make sure that by Sunday 4th at 4 p.m. you have completed the whole process, so that the system can just allocate your time, class time, for every day for 10 days. Goodbye and have a nice time.